tried. Like, I don't even know anymore. I don't know. Turning 40 this year and everything is just hitting me right now. It's like not where I wanted to be.
The caption says, "Woman breaks down after turning 40, claiming she has no achievements or success all this time and I have nothing to show for it."
It's like not where I wanted to be. I haven't succeeded at anything. God, I haven't even tried. Like, I don't even know anymore. I don't know how to do anything. I don't know how to cope with anything. And I don't know how to, I did this whole growing thing wrong. Like I'm supposed to be an adult. I'm supposed to be able to handle these things, and I can't handle anything. And I literally am just realizing, like, it's been 40 years of this, and like, it's 40 years of just being confused and not knowing and like figuring things out slower and like not like I haven't built anything. I have nothing like to show for this time. I just don't know what I'm doing here, and I'm
Sounds like this woman may suffer from pretty privilege. Where her whole life, everybody did everything for her. Now, when she has to do something on her own, she has no idea how to her left foot from her right foot. What I'll say to that is that's why it's very important to teach your kids at an early age how to do things for themselves, or you'll end up like this woman, unfortunately. Best thing for her to do at this age is to get a mentor. Hey man, you ruining my video.
hurting for you.
Yeah, I think we could have went without his take. I don't know if I agree with his take as far as pretty privilege. She is pretty. That was one thing that I picked up on at the beginning when she said she's 40. She definitely doesn't look 40, so she's got that going for her. I think she suffers from what a lot of people suffer from, which is not wanting to delay gratification. And what that can look like on a day-to-day basis is basically she was just focused on having fun in her younger years and she wanted to live it up. Whatever that looks like. She felt like she had to engage in experiences. She maybe felt like she had to have certain things or certain experiences. And ultimately, she was prioritizing fun. I think that's what it really comes down to. And I think that's what we typically see. We typically see that people don't have discipline, especially when it comes to discipline with their finances, and they don't really have a plan for the future because that's really all it would take. And I don't think that she's a special case in this because if you didn't know, about 95% of people don't actually know what they want to do in life. 95% of people in the world are feathers in the wind and they're just going wherever life takes them. And then you wake up one day and then it doesn't reveal itself at younger ages because you assume everyone's having fun. But when you wake up at 40, 50, especially for men, it's even worse. But where I'm going with it is when you wake up at 40, 50, and then you see your compatriots alongside you, and they may have certain things figured out and set up that you don't have. So now you start to feel like you're the odd one out. That's the worst. When you feel like you're behind. Do you remember when you were in school and it was all fun and games for the kids? This could be elementary school, this could be middle school. It was all fun and games until eventually your teacher has that conversation with your parent and says, yeah, he might get left back a grade or she might get left back a grade. And then all of a sudden, every day you was the class clown, you was playing, you thought it was a game. And then when you finally understand that you might get left back and all the other students and your classmates might move on and you might still be stuck behind for another year, that's when it sets in typically, right? And so that's on a smaller scale, but on a larger scale, that's what we're seeing for her life. She sees other people who, for most other people at 40, now life just started. If you've done all the right things along your way and ultimately made sure that you were always progressing and that you were positioning yourself correctly. And so now she's seeing that. And now she's seeing that she's positioned ultimately still at the bottom. Still at the bottom. When she tries to go and see what her skills can get her and see what she can do, she's looking at Foot Locker. She's looking at Popeyes. And she's seeing other people living it up, having executive lifestyles. Because if you've done the right things and put the right things in place, at 40, you can do whatever you want at that point. If you do it right. And let's not even mention if you got a family, you got multiple incomes, y'all got investments, and if you didn't have kids, whatever. And so that's what I feel like she's dealing with and what she's ultimately struggling with. And I wish her the best. I hope that she's able to conquer this and overcome it. She does have more privilege than some other people, so there are ways. But y'all, let's get back into it. Before we do, y'all, if you could like the video, I greatly appreciate it. It only takes a second, and it actually helps out more than you know, and it's literally just a click. So if you're here anyway, you might as well click that like button. And also, if you could hype and join button, if you want to become a member, is on the video as well. But let's get back into it. The caption says, I refuse to be old and broke.
To be 30. Let me tell you something. I refuse to be 30 or 40 years old and don't got nothing to show for it. I refuse to be 40 years old and still in the club celebrating failure. I refuse to be getting old and still thinking I'm young. Still thinking I got time on the clock. Still thinking I got a ways to go. Let me tell you something. That's how people end up playing catch up in life, man. I got to get it now. Because, see, I refuse to misuse my time in these streets looking for street credit. I don't want street credit. I want credit in the bank. I refuse to be out here trying to be cool with everybody, man, looking for cool points. I don't want your cool points. I want decimal points. I want me some money. I refuse to be giving daps and hugs and looking for props from people that ain't got shit.
Wow.
I want some property. Keep your props. Let me tell you something. When you cross a certain age barrier, man, you can't be out here wasting your time. You got to be really on your grind and get your mind right. Ain't no such thing as going out, hanging out every weekend. Y'all can have to turn up. I'm trying to come up. Let me tell you something.
Exactly. A lot of the work is going to be done in silence. It's going to be done in silence, in solitude. It's not going to be seen. Everybody's going to be trying to put on this perception and put on ultimately this show and this facade. But meanwhile, you just have to be able to actually just, for one, you just have to be able to be satisfied with knowing that you just put a drop in the bucket for yourself and for your life and possibly even for a higher power, and be settled on that and understand that it's compounding. And like he said, it's funny. I love this point that he made, that people are out here looking for props and looking for props from people that don't have nothing going on. Maybe you're a guy, right? And you remember the first one we reviewed? Maybe you're trying to impress her and you're looking for props from her. And then look how she ended up and wound up. Maybe you're somebody who might have dated her and you said, well, no, I don't go to Roof Chris on the first date. I'm sorry. And then she said, oh, you must be broke. You're not fun. And meanwhile, you kept that money in your account. And then meanwhile, she's on TikTok crashing out. And this can look different in other ways. Maybe you're out with her and she gets upset and she's arguing with some dude and she wants you to fight this dude on her behalf. And you looking for her props. You're looking for her validation. And then you go and fight this dude, or you don't. And you continue your life and you don't have anything on your record and you're still able to pass all the background checks at every job that you go to, and you ultimately get to a VP position because of it. And meanwhile, you hear that she had another boyfriend and he's in prison because he was fighting on her behalf. And then while he's in prison and she should owe him everything, she's hitting your line trying to see if she can get back in your good graces. These are scenarios that I'm coming up with off the top of my head, but they're very real and they happen all the time. And so you out here trying to live up for other people's props. Like he said, go try to get you some property, get you some investments. Ultimately, plant seeds and continue fertilizing and watering those seeds. And guess what? When a seed is underground and is growing, you can't see the growth, but it's still under there growing, ain't it? It's still underneath that soil growing if you continue to add to it and to nurture it. And eventually, you'll see that one little leaf pop up out the soil, and you may even look at it like, dang, well, I've been doing this for 30 days and 30 nights. And this is all I got, just this little leaf. I need me a whole orange tree. What's going on? But guess what? You finally got your first visible sign that is working. So don't give up. And that's where a lot of people will give up because they want something bigger to come. But no, you have to stay consistent. And you continue to consistently sprinkle that thing and nurture that thing, and you're going to have your orange tree. It's guaranteed. These are principles of life, and they work, but it just takes time. And then once you have that orange tree, you eat an orange, you just go ahead and put the other seed in the ground, sprinkle it. It's not even urgent no more. You got your whole orange tree. At this point, you just playing the game. You just like, shoot, I might as well make some more. Shoot, it ain't nothing. I already know what's going to come if I just keep watering it. I done seen it happen. I have proof of concept. So I'm just going to keep doing it. Next thing you know, you got 10 orange trees just for no reason. You don't even need all them oranges. Now you're in abundance. Now you're selling oranges. Now you're like, dang, I need to. Now you done sold oranges. Now you like, dang, I done ran out of space. I need to get another property, sell some more. The oranges is paying for my home. And this is how it can go. But remember where we started. You wasn't seeing nothing, and you felt like you was working for nothing. And most people don't want to do that. Most people don't want to do that. You was telling people, yeah, I'm watering my orange tree. They're like, ooh, can I come see it? You like, nah, it's still in the dirt. It hasn't sprouted yet. They're like, it hasn't sprouted yet. I'm like, nah, but you still want to come see the soil though? They're like, nah, you can keep it. I'm cool. Let me know when it's a tree. Oh, okay, yeah, I'll let you know when it's a tree. Is it gonna be too late? Is it gonna be too late? Let's get into some more clips, y'all. Again, if you could like the video, only takes a second.
What is your savings look like today? Is there any?
I don't have any. Nothing.
Caption says 41 with no savings.
Look like today? Is there any?
I don't have any. Nothing left, man. It's bad.
Erky jerky. Anything in like a Roth IRA? Any kind of retirement?
No savings.
Does that scare you?
Oh yeah.
What is your?
Dang, that's a rare case right there. From what I've seen, a lot of gay dudes be financially doing
I
well.
don't bother saving money anymore. I'm a 21-year-old living in Melbourne. And it's not because I've given up with the cost of living crisis or because I'm a reckless spender. It's because I know I could never save money as fast as property grows my wealth. I bought my first property at 19 for $480,000. I now have $750K in usable equity across my portfolio. Even the most disciplined savers would take decades to save that in cash. Property did that for me in 3 years. I can use that equity to buy anything. I could genuinely just splurge and get myself the nicest cars, the nicest watch, but instead, I'll be using it as the deposit on my next property. I'll be repeating the whole process again. I went from one property at 19 to a $3 million portfolio by 21. And if you're not doing the same...
Well, here's the thing. He's right. He's right. With a regular job, it takes a lot of time to actually start saving. And the goal should be to retain as much as possible, because then you can actually invest that money ideally and have it working for you. And then it can start to multiply. But that can still be somewhat of a slow process. And you still need to make sure that you're earning, and ideally that your earning potential is growing. So he brings up a great point. But here's the thing. This is where it becomes where you leverage your time, your after hours especially. But you want to make sure, since you know that, yeah, typically it's slow, it takes time. You want to make sure that you're using your time as effectively as possible and that you have multiple pots working on the stove at once. You ever seen, I remember I seen this person, man, and the way she cooked is she would do one thing at a time. It was so inefficient. She would do like one thing at a time. She would be, all right, I'm gonna boil the pasta. She's boiling the pasta. She got something that need to go in the oven. She waits till the pasta's done. She has to do each task at once. And before I knew it, it take forever to actually get the meal. And I'm looking, I'm like, this is so inefficient. If you're boiling the pasta, you don't have to sit here and wait for the pasta to boil. Now you can work on something else. You can go chop something. You can put that in the oven. You need to be prioritizing this and strategizing this so that everything can be done at once. And instead of you taking 3 hours to cook everything because you're doing everything one by one, you can actually literally have everything ready in 45 minutes. That's how a lot of people are doing. Imagine the example with the orange tree. Now imagine somebody say, okay, well, I'm spending all my time. I'm putting the water in the pot. I'm walking all the way out there to the field. Instead of me just starting with one orange tree, if I'm already here, if I'm already watering stuff, let me go ahead and let me plant an apple tree, an orange tree, a mango tree, Since I'm gonna have to be out here watering them consistently anyway, let me go ahead and water multiple things so I can have multiple things sprouting at the same time. And so I can get where I need to get faster. And so you need to be diversified. And you need to be diversifying your progress portfolio. So, what things are you progressing in? I think you'll find a new source of energy if you make sure that you're always progressing in life. That's the one thing I always try to make sure that I stay consistent. I need to have multiple things working. I need to be progressing in multiple areas, and I need to be diversifying my progress portfolio. So for you, it could look like you need to be progressing in your career. You need to choose a career that appreciates over time. You need to be also investing in your 401k, your savings. You need to have other goals outside of that. Maybe you have a side business that you want to start. Then maybe you're you're prioritizing your relationship with another person, and you're investing in that person to make sure that you all have a stable foundation and it can blossom into something that's sturdy and that's thorough. And then now this is a new area where you can depend on somebody. And now next thing you know, you got four things that are all trending towards the same direction, which is the future and what protects you. But most people aren't thinking like that. Just like the first lady. She didn't have nothing working this whole time. She wasn't progressing in nothing. And she was just a feather in the wind and she was just having fun. And so she decided to prioritize fun and ultimately distraction, and she wasn't focused. And so now you look back and you've wasted all this time. And you see this dude's 21. He wants what he wants fast, and he's not wasting no time.
This stuff, I'm gonna tell y'all the bad stuff right now. I'm gonna be real vulnerable. I spend money.
Her caption says, "This is embarrassing, but I'm being real with y'all. My bills be paid, but every single dollar that I should be saving be gone."
like I'm on drugs. I spend money like I'm on drugs, right? Like it's bad. Like you'll be like, well, where did your money go? It's awful. My last paycheck was a little over $4,000.
Okay.
Do y'all know I was just in a grocery store and I told them I got to do this in 2 separate transactions. The first transaction was $8 and the second transaction was $22. I don't even have $40 on one card. And my last paycheck was over $4,000.
Where's it going?
I need rehab for this shit. Like, why every time I get $1, I gotta spend it? I don't know what.
Yeah, you need to get that in order before you try to get a man too, because some of y'all have these spending habits, and y'all just living y'all life whatever, and then you think you're just gonna get with a man, and then it's gonna correct all y'all problems. Y'all be coming with debt, and then you know you're in debt, or you know that you're in a bad position, and you keep making it worse, and you don't have no better excuse other than to just say, "I just don't know where it's going. I just spend it." You're gonna have to come up with something better than that, and you're gonna have to be a little bit more urgent and make it more of a priority, because then she'll come on here, and when she ends up getting evicted, then all of a sudden we got to crowd fund, we got to raise some money. And meanwhile, you didn't have no urgency when you just said that you knew it's a problem, but you're not actually and practically addressing it. What's your plan to solve it?
My perspective on saving money as a 25-year-old entrepreneur is completely different than most people my age. A lot of the time, society will tell people in their 20s, save money, but if you actually pay attention, they never have a real strategy for why they're telling you to save money. And that always makes me question things. If you don't have any real strategy, you're just telling me what to do. It's the reason why when people tell you, when you trying to teach kids a lesson.
Ninja, you don't need no strategy. What you talking about? You talking about they didn't teach us the strategy. They just said save money. Mofo, you learn addition and subtraction in elementary school. Yeah, save money. You need somebody to spell out what save money means. What that means, sir, is that make sure you're bringing in more than you're spending. You're saving something, keeping it for yourself. Now, your goals is going to determine how much you save. I'm not going to say if you have the opportunity to save $2,000 a month, but you decide you're going to spend more than that, and you're only going to save $200 a month, well, then that's your prerogative. That's the way that you choose to live your life. I wouldn't recommend that. I would recommend you save more. depending on where you want to be. And a lot of times you just got to get up that hill. So if you save more, you'll get up the hill faster, as well as you do more and then still save more, you'll get up that hill faster. But it's going to come down to your urgency and where you want to get to in life. But you know how to save. You don't need a blueprint for how to save. People do this with their budget too. Oh, I don't know how to budget. Somebody got to teach me. Let me see. Budget. Step 1, write down your expenses. Step 2, you don't even got to write down what you make. It's usually going to be just a bi-weekly paycheck. But that's step 2. Write down how much you make. Step 3, figure out how to make sure what you make is more than what's coming out. Voila. Budget. Y'all know what's going on. You're just making choices. You don't know how to see something that you want, or maybe desire to go on a trip, or desire a scat pack, and then say, I can't afford it. You just want it, even though you can't afford it. Cannot afford it.
Strategy, you're just telling me what to do. It's the reason why when people tell you, when you trying to teach kids a lesson, you have to back it up with information. Give them something that they can relate to make them believe that they're actually gaining something from the information you're trying to give them. With that being said, I personally disagree. What am I saving for? To work for 40 years until I'm 65 and I just don't want to do anything and lay down? Fuck no. I invest my money heavily in the things that's going to drastically improve.
Didn't I tell you? You don't need a plan. These are decisions. So you want us to waste our breath giving you a plan of something you already know what to do. No. It's like when you be lecturing people, man, you got to stop going to jail. You got to stop doing this. You got to stop doing that. And meanwhile, they're going to be right back in jail. So what I'm wasting my breath for? You know what to do. But see, your philosophy, you don't. Now it really came out. So what that uncovered is that it's not a savings problem. It's not that you don't have the information. Is that you decide to encapsulate it and come up with your own philosophies on why you're not going to do what you know you need to do and what you've been told to do.
Invest my money heavily in the things that's going to drastically improve my income now. My immediate goal right now isn't to invest in long-term assets like stocks or real estate, but into knowledge, things that's going to drastically help my business scale so that I can level up my income as much as possible now. And when I level up my income, it immediately makes investing in long-term assets that much easier. So I think the biggest point of this is, if you want to save money, yes.
You know what's crazy? What, you going to get a mentor? Let me tell you something. You're going to get some mentors. 8 out of the 10 mentors that you waste your money on, probably only 2 of them are going to really be okay. Maybe you'll get one that's really good. You know what's funny? If you really want to be good in business that bad, it's not going to cut into your savings that much. You know why? Because all you really have to do is get some books about business. But see, that we ain't going to do that. See, I'd be the type of person I'd tell him, yeah, invest in a book. He just wants somebody to tell him something that he ain't going to do anyway, and he's still going to have to get the experience because people will give you information, as we just saw. The dude told you the budget, and you decided to come up with your own philosophy on it and still not budget and still not save. How are you going to be able to keep learning and improving and going up in life if you don't have nothing saved for a rainy day, for when emergencies happen, which could wipe you out? You don't get to keep climbing up if you get wiped out. If you get on the street, now you're in survival mode. If your car stopped running. So what would be smarter is to save and be getting some books in the meantime. But you don't want to get the books. You want it fast. Just say you want everything fast. Because even in business, you're not going to dodge the fact that you're going to fail. That's a part of the training, to fail in multiple businesses and learn from actual experience. And if you really want it as bad as you say you do, then you'll endure it and you'll keep moving forward. And eventually you will have something that pops off. But the reason you'll have something that pops off is because you'll be taking the accumulated failures and the lessons that you gain from those failures, and you'll be taking those things with you in order to actually be successful and profitable in the future. And not in the near future, But in the future, if you stay with it,
have a goal behind that, right? Have a actual reason for doing that. Have a strategy. If you're just saving money just to be able to look at an account and say, "Oh, I have this much money," it literally makes no sense. You're doing it for absolutely no reason. You need to have a real strategy. Don't just listen to people who say do this. Oftentimes that advice is coming from people you don't even want to be like financially. So why would I listen to that? I'm not going to save myself into becoming a millionaire or having a successful business. Right now, I'm young. I'm playing offense right now. Later on, I'll play defense. But right now, it's about increasing my income as much as possible so that I can do the things that I want to do long term. And that's my goal. That's my strategy. I'm not.
it sounds good, but it's just impatience. It's just you're impatient. That's what it is.
The fact that, like when
Another person whose caption says, "I don't believe in saving money."
you don't make enough money, you know what I'm saying, and you got so many bills to pay, like, your rent just takes up like majority of your money. You got miscellaneous bills and stuff like that. You got your necessities you have to take care of. It's always something that you have to yeah, that you have to buy. It's always something that you need to spend money on. You know what I'm saying? So it makes it really hard to save money. And to be honest, like I don't see a benefit in saving money unless like I have like a short term goal that I really need to get to. Or if it's like a even if it's like a long-term goal that I know that is necessary to get, you know what I'm saying? Like if I was making enough money, like if I was making really 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 good money and it wouldn't hurt my bank account to put it in savings, I will put $500 in my savings account every single week. That's $1,000 every 2 weeks. You know how quickly that would add up. They make sure that you don't make enough money to where you can even save that amount of money, to where it won't break your bank account, and to where you don't need to go into it because you make just enough money. You know what I'm saying? Like the only time I see myself saving money if it's like I'm finna go on vacation, if
Mm.
I'm finna go on vacation or something like that, because I know that I really want to go on vacation. I know I need to stack my money.
So are you choosing not to save money, or are you not making enough money? Because those are two totally different scenarios. Sounds like both. Sounds like you could save if you wanted to, but you don't believe in it. I guess you don't think that is worth it, and there's still things within your lifestyle that you feel like you need or feel like you need to indulge in. And this can be temporary, right? It can really just come down to standards. Maybe you have a saving standard. You should have a saving standard at least. Some people refer to it as an emergency fund. It's okay to say I have a standard as far as I need to always have $10,000 in my savings account just in case. If it's in there, then I can spend my money however I want to. I still would recommend that you save, but since she wants to be extreme, if I have $10,000 in my account, I'm Gucci, and then I can spend my money however I want. But if ever something comes up, I got to get my brakes, my rotors changed. I got to take $400 out of that account and dip into that. Then now the emergency is I need to replenish that, and then I can get back to however I want. Again, I think you need to be progressing. I think things need to be growing because that $10,000, if that's your philosophy, it ain't gonna be worth much by the time inflation gets his hands on it. But she ain't thinking about inflation, and she's also probably not thinking about retirement. And see, these will be the type of people with these type of philosophies who will have these philosophies and be making these choices and decisions. But then once an emergency ultimately comes up that is earth shattering and that is ultimately going to put them in a situation where their comfort is no longer going to be there, i.e., under a bridge, i.e., living in their car, i.e., finna have to be in a shelter with your kids, then all of a sudden it's going to be everybody else's responsibility who was ultimately being responsible. So they make the responsible decision and they save their money and make sure that they're putting something away for a rainy day so that they can get to the point to where they can start having fun. And now they can't even have fun because they got to come save you with the fun money. and they've been being responsible. And this is how a lot of people is out here living, and what their expectations are on other people when they ultimately find that their philosophies are skewed and it is ultimately ineffective. And so that's why I just say, man, you brought it on yourself, because it's the truth. And because I know that we have situations where people are thinking like this and you can't tell them otherwise. But then you can't correct them, you can't tell them nothing. But then it's your responsibility when they have to ultimately be responsible for the implications that they brought on themselves. Y'all, we'll leave it there for the day. If you could like the video, I greatly appreciate it. Only takes a second, and it actually helps out more than you know. And also, if you could hype the video, hype is a new feature that YouTube offers where it helps smaller content creators like myself. And basically, when you hype, it actually pushes us to the extent that it pushes the larger content creators. So you just press the hype button and it shows the points. And since I'm a smaller creator, a smaller channel, we actually get more points per hype. And hype was designed for smaller channels, so that's why. But if you come across a video and you don't see the hype button, then it's probably been over 7 days, and hype usually vanishes after 7 days. So if you want to hype, it's usually best practice to just go ahead and hype while the iron is hot on a newer video. And also, if you want to become a member, join buttons on the video. And what becoming a member of the DXU family would come with is you would get badges next to your comments where you will be able to see, or excuse me, where people would be able to see that you are a member whenever you leave a comment. And then you will also get early access to content, and you would get exclusive content that other people on YouTube can't see. So again, if you want to become a member, join buttons on that video or on the video. And until then, I'll see you in the next one.